What's up guys, Chinzo here. Today we are back out at North Padre Island. I've spent quite a bit of time out here over the summer, and I've also spent a lot of time testing out different shade systems. I've used everything from canopies to tarp systems and even an umbrella, and all of those have worked out pretty well for the most part. But recently I did pick up a new wind shade system that I think is probably the most practical. It is very easy to set up, and it provides quite a bit of shade, and it packs up really nicely. It doesn't take up too much space in my truck. Most importantly, this comes in at a very good price point. In fact, I got mine on sale for $39.99 on Amazon. And I do want to let you guys know that I did not receive this product for free. I paid for it with my own money, so this is definitely not an advertisement. I just want to share with you guys something that I think is useful, practical, and comes in at a good price point. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into the setup process, and I'll tell you a bit more about it. This is the actual shade. This is the vertical support rod. This is the rod that will be running through the actual sail portion. It also comes with a few stakes. And this little funny looking piece right here is what will be connecting the horizontal wind shade portion to the vertical support mount. So I don't want to misplace this. I'll set this aside right here. So the first thing you want to do is construct the vertical support rod. You want to keep in mind to keep the sharp point at the bottom. This is what will dig into the sand if you choose to mount it that way. And this piece will be at the top. This will lock into the other rods that connect to the sail. Everything kind of just locks into place here till you get all the way to the top. And there you go, got this part at the top. And you've got the pointy section at the bottom. Now let's assemble the actual wind shade. So this support rod goes together pretty much just like a normal tent rod, and in the shade there's a little channel where you just kind of run this rod through to secure the rod to the shade. So I will say having two people to set this up is actually pretty nice. It doesn't hurt to have an extra set of hands, but this is totally doable by one person. So here's a better look at the size of this wind sail. So I'll give you guys a closer look at this opening in the center where you'll be connecting it to the main support. Next thing I'm going to do is take this little weird looking piece here, thread it through the hole that I showed you guys earlier, and it mounts directly onto the top. So let's go ahead and do that.
Once the shade is constructed, I like to mount it using a 2-inch PVC rod holder. The shade is designed to be dug into the sand, but I found that using a homemade rod holder adds a ton of stability, and it's my preferred way to mount this shade. I picked up this PVC at Home Depot, and I used a Dremel tool to cut it down to size, and I did cut one side at an angle to make it easier to bury in the sand. However, today I'll be testing out a new mounting option for the first time. I'm using a bike mount clamp to mount this shade to my bed rack. Because of the single pole design, it opens the door for some creative mounting options and adds a level of versatility to this shade system.
We utilize this clamp that is actually part of a bike holding system that I mount in the back of my truck bed to haul around my road bikes. But I also think it'll be perfect to keep this rod in place and provide shade directly over the bed of my truck. So let's try it out for the first time together and see how it goes. Right, so I've finally got it stabilized to a point where I like, and the last step is going to be to further stabilize it with these little guy lines here. What I've been doing is just kind of tying them here around the main support, but the main thing you want to do is kind of just get it even on both sides. and that'll keep it pretty much level. And I'll just tie a little knot here and secure it down. And this is pretty much done. I'll let you guys see what it looks like.
This setup isn't perfect just yet, but I think it worked out pretty well.
It's not the most sophisticated looking setup, but it's just basically one of these little bike mounts. I just secured it to my rack. I anchored it down a little bit with my mini fridge. I just wanted to give you guys a better look at this, and that way you can also kind of get an idea for how much shade this puts out. I'll go ahead and put the dimensions on the screen as well. But yeah, there's a quick look at it. I think it came out pretty decent. And like I mentioned, I do appreciate the design of this because it is a little bit more versatile. There is a little bit of room for improvisation, and you can kind of customize it to your needs. So there's a closer look at the budget wind shade from Loninak. If you guys are into this sort of video with gear reviews, camping, cooking, fishing, all of those good things, I definitely invite you to stick around and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, stay stoked, and I'll see you in the next one.